Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles the Bandsman. Welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. So let's get straight into this news here. We got some fantastic news for y'all. As you guys know, I can't even tell you the amount of shows we've done talking about LeBron's potential return to the Los Angeles Lakers. And there are different people that want different things. LeBron fans want whatever LeBron wants. And if that means LeBron gets paid $50 million, Austin Reeves gets left with the scraps, and a few other players they bring back a look and a few other pieces, that's fine, because they already have their default excuses in place, which is going to be one, Rob Pelinka didn't build a good enough team around him, which is what he alluded to on his show. And then they'll be like, oh, what do you want from him? He's 42 years old, right? Then you have the other side where people are like, you got to be insane to give a 42-year-old, of someone going on 42, a max contract, like a $50 million. You're insane. When you can use that money and go get a whole bunch of younger players to really bolster your roster, right? That would make more sense. Then we did a show when we were reacting to the news that the Lakers want a A-list big man, news that LeBron fans didn't like, because that meant that, hey, you're taking more money out of my guy's hand to give it to other guys. But the part that LeBron fans have yet to come to terms with, they still think this guy's like a top 5, top 10 player. They think he's the best player on the Lakers. That's why they feel like all of these things should happen. This is the guy didn't make an All-NBA team. He didn't make an All-Star team last year. They just put him on the team. But in their minds, they think he should be the number one option. So they're struggling with coming to terms with that reality. But I said that it would just be financial malpractice to give them that news, to give them that money. Then I began to say that, look, I had a feeling that LeBron was going to return to the team. I've been saying that to the chagrin of some diehard Laker fans. But then we got some news that came out that made me begin to think, well, wait a minute, something else could happen, because we did a live where we found out that the report was the Lakers are not going to, I think it was from Dave McMenamin. It was from Dave McMenamin. Expected to offer LeBron nothing in the ballpark of a max deal. And that's when LeBron fans began to come to reality. But then this morning, I got a bunch of reports here that I want to get into, but essentially, it looks like LeBron James and the Lakers might be heading for a split. And he may be on his way out because things are not going to work out the way that he probably intended them to. But before we even get into these various reports here, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Kachava. Now, before we continue, let me tell you something. This year, I got serious about taking care of my body, my training, my nutrition, all of it. Nothing extreme. I just wanted to take better care of myself. But my days get busy between work, moving around, taking care of my daughter, trying to go to the gym, buying groceries. Life fills up fast. And when it does, nutrition is the first thing to fall apart. I would skip meals, grab whatever was easy, and feel it by the afternoon. Then I started using Kachava's new travel pack. Just one packet gives you complete nutrition ready for life to go on. Plant-based protein, fiber, greens, vitamins, probiotics, omegas, electrolytes, and more. No artificial flavors, no sweeteners, no soy, no gluten, no preservatives, and no animal products. All the nutrition my body craves in one delicious shake, packed to go. It keeps my energy steady all day, and more importantly, it actually tastes amazing. If you have been meaning to take better care of yourself, this is the easiest place to start. Take your daily ritual with you. Go to Kachava.com and use code DREAMERS for 15% off your first order. That's Kachava, Kachava.com, code DREAMERS. And here's one more thing. If you decide to try it, send us your receipt to DreamersProOfficial@gmail.com, and we will give you 2 months free in the Dreamers Pro community we are building. Or we could give you 50% off on your future merchandise when we launch it. Okay, perfect. So let's get into this first report here. This is from Twitter via Ramona Shelburne. It says LeBron James' representatives have had initial conversations with the Lakers, but hasn't committed to returning for a 24th season. Then we have another one. It says LeBron James' free agency, NBA executives are split on if the Lakers or Warriors are best fit. It then went on. The intrigue about LeBron's pending free agency won't reach the same level as when he infamously announced his plans to take his talent to South Beach on ESPN. Nonetheless, an informal sample of an NBA executive assistant coaches and scouts have mixed opinions on whether James will stay with the Los Angeles Lakers and play with Luka Doncic. They have a mixed outlook on whether James truly would consider joining the Golden State Warriors and if he could win an NBA championship with Stephen Curry and Draymond Green. Fadeaway Wall spoke to a rival executive assistant coach and scout for more perspective on the outlook of James's future. Editor's note. The following interviews were conducted separately and edited. Okay, so let's go to the thing. It said, which team do you think LeBron will be with next season? NBA executive. LeBron will stay with the Lakers, I think. It's hard to imagine him leaving. If he wants his money, it's going to be hard for him to leave. I have to imagine there's some kind of compromise that they can do on compensation-wise. It's just easier. I don't know where else he could be going. I think he would rather play with his son and not have to move. NBA assistant coach. I think he would be good in Golden State. He's smart enough to be able to play with those other smart minds and maximize everything. He could use his brain with those guys and not have to use as much athleticism. It's a perfect spot for him. I don't know if he can put up numbers, but as far as enjoying the game, using his brain and being effective, it's a good fit. He can make plays happen instead of reacting to plays. He'd have everything that he needs, a brilliant passer, and Draymond Green, and a brilliant screener, and Stephen Curry, a brilliant shooter. You combine those three things, he will be able to attack. He'll be able to pick people apart. And then another scout said, I think LeBron will stay at the Lakers and blah, 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 blah. Here's what I think the deciding factor in all of this is going to be on whether or not LeBron stays, is if there's enough money on the table. I think the number one determining factor for whether or not LeBron James remains a Laker has nothing to do with winning. Has everything to do with money. If the Lakers offer LeBron what he wants, he's staying. And they'll find a way to craft some narratives around the losing. But if they don't offer him the money that him and his camp are seeking, he's going to leave. It's that simple. There's nothing else to it. Do you know why I say that? Because the evidence is staring us right in the face. If LeBron wanted to leave, if LeBron truly wanted to win, we wouldn't be having this conversation. We would not be having this conversation. There's so many teams that can go and join and help them try to win a championship. So many. But that's not really what he wants. He wants his cake and eat it too. That's fine. You can want your cake and eat it too. That doesn't mean you're going to get both. That's number one. Number two, and it has to do with another show we're going to do. It has to do with the pressure that's coming for the Lakers front office from Luka Doncic. And I think that's going to be something that can ultimately trigger his exit. Because if the Lakers begin to scramble to make moves for Luka to appease him, there may not be any money left on the table. They simply may not be any money left on the table for LeBron to gobble up. And that's a reality that LeBron is going to have to come to terms with, and as well as his fan base. If the Lakers are not willing to, if the Lakers are in scramble mode and they feel like Luka Doncic may request a trade or something like that, then they need to do everything in their power to appease Luka. And if that means getting an A-list center and using up a good amount of their cap space, you do that. So I think that's going to be the biggest determinant. That and whether or not LeBron, if it wasn't about money, then he could, I mean, I'm not saying play for free, but if that wasn't your number one priority, you're still talking about being respected, you don't feel respected after 24 years of making money, you still want to be respected, then expect whatever you get with that respect next season.